Hey, hi, hello. My name is Shane Link and welcome to a new video. Before I begin, I just really want to thank you guys so much for the absolutely amazing support I've been getting these past couple days. You guys absolutely blasted the sub goal that I've set for myself out of the water from 17 all the way to 51 with 1,000 views. I just personally can't believe it, and I just want to thank every single one of you for thinking that my video and my content was enough for you guys to subscribe. And really just thank you guys so much. But Peter Parker. That name is probably the most recognized person ever, as not only is he the amazing, spectacular, friendly neighborhood and ultimate Spider-Man, but he's also, like I said, Peter Parker. Now, I feel like I don't have to give a complete story synopsis about Spider-Man, as I feel like everyone knows who he is at this point, but I will give a quick synopsis. So Peter Parker was a lowly nerd, depending on which iteration, either high school or college, from which he went on a field trip where he got bit by a radioactive spider. Boom. Explanation over. There's really not much to it. Uncle Ben dies, he realizes with great power comes great responsibility, and that's about it, right? Well, is it though? I mean, if we dig, really dig, who and what is Spider-Man? A hero? A menace? A man? Now, we have to go back, not to his origin like before, but how he was first made. Sorry in advance for the little history lesson. But Spider-Man was made by Stan Lee, and at the time, Stan Lee has already made the Fantastic Four, which was wildly successful with all of, obviously, because we know Reed Richards just admits aura, but he also needed someone else new. The Fantastic Four was done, and he needed a hero that was different than the others, until a fly landed on his wall in his office. That was when inspiration sparked. A hero who can stick on walls. Huh. Spider-Man immediately came to Stan's mind, and I quote, "I got down to the name Spider-Man. Spider-Man. And it sounded so dramatic." End quote. After Stan got this idea, he went straight to his publisher, but alas, they thought it was stupid. Telling Stan that it shouldn't have to be a teen hero. No one wants to see a teen hero. Teens are meant for sidekicks, not for heroes. And on top of that, who would want to have a hero based on a spider? People hate spiders. But, of course, his publisher thought it would be good to get it out of his system and let Stan put Spider-Man on Amazing Fantasy #1. And as you can probably tell, the rest is complete and utter history. You see, Stan made Spider-Man with a power no hero was using at the time, and not a lot of heroes use at all. Soul. And even if Spider-Man was made purely by a fly or even a mistake, it still shows that a hero, regardless of what it is, as long as the person who made it was good, is a great hero. Like, for example, everything down to a suit was not really thought up by Stan. To be honest, he kind of just thought all of it up by a glance. You see, Stan never intentionally made Spider-Man to have the full costume, it just looked cool at the time. But to Stan, it was the best decision he made. Quote, "One of the greatest things about Spider-Man's outfits is that he's covered so any kid can imagine being Spider-Man." End quote. This is a beautiful and powerful thing, as any lowly kid who watches Spider-Man take down a petty criminal or, hell, even a big one, they can imagine themselves being that hero, giving them strength and power to be able to be whatever or whoever they want to be. But, I've talked a lot about Spider-Man, but what about Peter? I mentioned him in the beginning, right? So obviously he has to be somewhat important. Well, he is. He's the man behind the mask. He's just a man. You see, one thing that some people don't recognize is that Peter and Spider-Man are two completely different entities. a hero vigilante who takes on criminals with guns and fists and all sorts of crazy things. And then on the other side, he's just a guy who has relationship troubles, and a guy who's just trying to make ends meet by working a dead-end job, and is also pretty socially awkward on top of it. And it's pretty average hero stuff, right? I mean, every other hero has a secret identity, but until you go deep down, something is pretty interesting. One, he's not like some other heroes where they have $1 million secret identity that they can use to their advantage, or he got gifted his powers at a very young age. Or I guess he was never given powers when he was born. But there was one thing that Peter was gifted with besides the powers. Tragedy. No matter where Peter Parker or Spider-Man goes, there is always some sort of tragedy. And yet he stays Spider-Man. By all intents and purposes, no one wants to stay Spider-Man after all this stuff happens. I mean, and not to mention, it's in every single universe and multiverse. Whether he dies as Spider-Man or whether he stays alive, he always stays Spider-Man. There is no iteration of any universe of Peter Parker where he isn't connected to Spider-Man, whether it's him or someone else. But it's because no one else will do it. Peter has been body swapped, cheated on multiple times, and have watched the people he loved die in his arms. And not to mention fight literal gods and vampires, and yet he still stays the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that everyone expects him to be. But let's go back again to Uncle Ben. With great power comes great responsibility. Now, even though yes, the whole reason why Uncle Ben died was due to Peter's negligence, it also made him see something. He's not the only one. People let crime go all the time. People let things go all the time. Hell, it's why most villains are even made, because they were never they never got seen by the heroes or sometimes their parents or anything else. And it just never stops. No one protects the middleman. There's no one to help the neighborhood when it's in need. And yet, after beatdown after beatdown after beatdown, he gets up. Quote, "Can I let this one go? Can I let it be someone else's problem? Just for a minute, so I can rest? No, I can't. But I wish I could. God, I wish I could." End quote. This is what Spider-Man is about. Bravery, pride, dignity. But this doesn't automatically mean that Peter doesn't have emotions. The way I'm describing him, he sounds like a god, an angel. But there's sides of Peter that we don't see, or when we do, to be honest, it's warranted. Selfishness, jealousy, all of the above. It's just, he gets angry, he gets upset, and he gets exhausted, just like I said before. But there was one point when Peter changed all of it, and that was when he got this symbiote suit. This suit, from everyone, was his prime. A cool design, an edgier Peter Parker, it just made everything better. But something that I want to extract from this is that, yes, as the suit is making him act this way, in a way, the suit is making Peter feel what any other human would feel. In any situation after, like I said, being body swapped or cheated on or watching people die in his arms, they would get bitter. They would get upset. They would get angry. And in this case, he does. He stops pulling his punches, he stops telling jokes, and he goes all in. Because he's still a human. A person with human emotion. And hell, he still kept a sewed version of the symbiote suit after he left it and only put it on when the situation needed it. Because at the end of the day, that suit was the embodiment of the human nature of Peter Parker, of Spider-Man. So, let's rewind. Let's think one more time. Who or what is Spider-Man? Spider-Man is a symbol. In real life and in fiction. He is a symbol of when pure happiness and pure dignity and pure pride and pure proudness show in people. That anyone, a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, big or small, can make a difference in people's lives. That a hero such as Spider-Man could be you. He's a hero. He is Spider-Man. So that was originally going to be the ending of the recording until some new things came to light, and I'm going to be going mostly out of script here with a lot of this because I don't feel like this is going to be scripted. So it came to find out that Marvel was using Stan Lee for personal gain, for a lot of money things. And as a Marvel fan, I have been a Marvel fan for years, ever since I was born, I feel like. I am very disappointed. Stan Lee was one of my personal heroes. He was one of the reasons why I want to do content creation, to spread joy to everyone around the world, because that's what he did with his creations. And I am sad to see that this happened to him in his last few years of life. But besides that, just to kind of cut things short here, they also are mistreating their artists, and this frustrates me to no end, as the artists in the Marvel Comics and DC Comics and all the comics period get underrated because we just see them as, oh, it's their job, but these guys literally make our heroes come to life every day. I wouldn't be making this video if it wasn't for the artists. And it really is upsetting that this is something that's happening, So to Marvel, please start paying your artists. And obviously you can't do back what you did with Stan, but please start paying your artists the way they need to be paid. Please, this is a huge problem and it's kind of upsetting. I just hope that this will get sorted out eventually. But I hope I can bring you guys some awesome entertainment. Please like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you on the other side of the fence.